one car, one truck, one mindset. Anybody can be fast once. The real question is whether you can do it again. My name is Lucas. And welcome back to Driving Down the Depression. If you're new here, welcome aboard. This is a series where we take in one car, one truck, and one mindset as far as they can go. Today, we're back in Porsche Cayman GT4 Clubsport. Back at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And after breaking through another barrier last episode, a different question started forming in my head. Not can I do it, but can I do it again? For most of this journey, I've been obsessed with speed. Lap times, delta bars, ghosts, targets, milestones, the next second, the next improvement, the next breakthrough. But eventually, every driver reaches a point where speed stops being the question, and consistency becomes the question. Because anybody can have one good lap, one perfect moment, one session where everything aligns, one lucky run. But what happens tomorrow? What happens when you come back? What happens when you try again? That's where the real test begins. As this session started, I wasn't chasing a miracle. I wasn't expecting some huge breakthrough. Honestly, I just wanted to see whether the pace was still there. Because deep down, there's always doubt. Even after a good lap, even after progress, even after success. Part of you still wonders, was it real? Or was it luck? And that's what today's session was about. Finding out. The first lap started and immediately everything felt familiar. The Porsche felt balanced, predictable, calm. The same car that had spent weeks trying to throw me into barriers now was suddenly starting to feel like an ally. And that's a strange feeling, because nothing physical had changed. The steering wheel was the same, the pedals were the same, and the track was the same. The biggest change was understanding. Because once you understand something, you stop fighting it. You start working with it. And that's exactly what happened here. Every braking zone felt natural. Every corner felt connected. Every input felt deliberate. Not perfect, just controlled. And for the first time, I wasn't thinking corner by corner. I was thinking lap by lap. The lap started flowing. The sectors started building. The confidence started growing. And then something happened. I stopped looking at the timer. Not because I didn't care, but because I finally trusted the process. The funny thing about trust is that it changes everything. When you don't trust something, you constantly check it, question it, second guess it. When you trust it, you simply use it. And maybe confidence works exactly the same way. For years, I thought confidence meant believing in yourself. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe confidence is simply the absence of doubt. Not because you know you'll succeed, but because you stopped wasting energy worrying about failure. The lap continued, the Porsche continued, the Nordschleife continued, and slowly something became obvious. The pace was still there, not as a surprise, not as an accident, not as a lucky moment. It was simply there. The lap finished, and the number appeared. 7 minutes 50 seconds. A few weeks ago, that number would have felt impossible. A few months ago, it would have felt ridiculous. Today, it felt earned. And maybe that's the biggest difference. Not excitement, not disbelief, not shock. Acceptance. Because the lap wasn't proving anything anymore. It was confirming something. The progress was real. And that's where the second half of this story begins. Because the first lap can still be explained away. One fast lap can still be luck. One fast lap can still be questioned. But two? That's different. So after a short break, I went back out. Not chasing a faster lap. Not chasing a record. Not chasing glory. Chasing consistency. Because I wanted to know something. If I started again right now, would the pace still be there? Or would I be starting from zero? The second lap began. The second lap began. And immediately I noticed something. I wasn't nervous anymore. There was no pressure. No desperation. No fear of failure. Just focus. And maybe that's what consistency really is. Not repeating success. Repeating the process that created success. The same breaking points, same turnings, same patience, the same discipline. Nothing special, just repeat. And as the lap unfolded, everything started happening again. The flow returned. The rhythm returned. The confidence returned. Not because I forced it, because I had built it. And that's a lesson that reaches far beyond racing. Most people chase motivation. But motivation comes and goes. What really changes lives is consistency. Showing up when you're motivated. Showing up when you're tired. Showing up when progress is visible. Showing up when progress is invisible. Just showing up. Again and again. And again. That's where growth happens. Not the breakthrough, but the repetition. The lap continued, the sectors continued. And suddenly I realized what was happening. This wasn't a repeat of a previous lap. This was proof. Proof that the pace wasn't accidental. Proof that the understanding was real. Proof that the work was paying off. The timer stopped, and there it was again. 7 minutes 50 seconds. Not once, twice. And honestly, that felt more satisfying than any single record lap. Because speed can happen. Consistency has to be built. Brick by brick, session by session, mistake by mistake. The Porsche wasn't getting faster. I was. And for the first time in this journey, I stopped wondering whether I could reach the next level. I started wondering where the limit actually is. Because if 7 minutes 50 seconds could happen twice, what else was possible? The answer wasn't waiting in this episode, but I had a feeling it wasn't very far away. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Still showing up.